just going to take you back to the final dress rehearsal day. What's it like in the run-up to final dress rehearsal, those few days? What's that like for you?
It's the calm before the storm.
I'm so excited. I mean, how was your filming this morning?
What?
How was your filming this
Oh,
morning?
it's fantastic.
Filming.
Excellent crew.
Already, I got absolutely slaughtered.
I do have the schedule printed out on the map.
Everyone.
You have to print it out on the map.
Oh, I didn't.
Where's flowers for me?
Unfortunately not.
Oh,
Sorry.
They're not for me either.
really? What's going through your mind
Honest,
right
I'm
now?
a bit stressed out because I'm like rushing around,
Are you?
trying to like sort silly little like picky things that aren't important but are important, like at this final late stage. How did I feel on the final dress rehearsal? To be honest, I don't particularly remember, which probably means it was all a bit of a whirlwind still. Loads to do, but at the same time, a lot of it was out of our control by then because it was a case of just going through those final little tweaks. They say you're meant to be a bit like, you're meant to have a bad dress rehearsal because then the actual day will go well. So, we'll see.
It feels a bit like kind of wedding rehearsal day in a way. And you know there's going to be a lot of hard work. I know there's going to be problems, there always are. And I want there to be problems on rehearsal day because I can solve those on rehearsal day and get them out the way. I remember in my first year, the stage manager, Duncan, who we were working with, said, it's good it goes wrong on rehearsal day because that gives you time to solve the problem. You don't want it going wrong on the day itself. Every rehearsal day is similar but different. And one of the things I'm really, really clear of with everybody I'm working with is that my aim is to get everyone across the line, to give everybody the best experience that they can have, whether they're a volunteer or they're a speaker, whether or not they work for the Quarter House or they're one of the guys behind the cameras who are going to be filming us on the day.
This is Caroline's territory. She absolutely loves it and she controls that auditorium so well over those 2 days. I think she told me at one point to get out. In nicer words, I'm sure. I think there was stuff that happened, quite what that was. To be honest, I'm not sure.
I love going through the doors of the Quarter House. I'm usually one of the first people in there and it gives me 15-20 minutes with hardly anybody around where I can enjoy my own excitement before I have to pack it into a box and really focus on making sure that the whole team works well together on that day. Stage setup for me is part hard work and part excitement. So working with the tech guy and stage manager and stage crew, we get staging set up and then we put the signage up. And we had last year's beautiful sign created by Folkestone College, and then we had their new sign, their new X with our Spaceman logo or Space Seagull logo. And when that arrived, I got a bit emotional and a bit overexcited because it's beautiful. Stand at the very back of the theatre and look at that and go, yeah, that looks how I want it to look this year. So when we go through the process starting rehearsals, what I like to do is to rehearse people in the order they're going to be speaking on the day itself. And unfortunately, we were going to start with somebody who was using a data projector and quite a lot of slides. And we were having an issue with getting the data projector to talk to the laptop up in the GOTS. We were trying to get the data projector to work and it was starting to delay us. I was all for swearing at it quite profusely, as I usually do with data projectors.
I went quite early on because I'm in the first group on the day, and and I think I went second because Katerina should have gone first, but the slides weren't up and running yet. So I thought we went a bit out of order.
It just adds a certain frisson of excitement to my morning, one that I could usually do without. Our biggest thing is around sound. We need to ensure we get the very best sound possible to go along with the video that we're taking of the speakers. The first performance was a dance troupe, so the only sound required then was actually a playback of their music. The second one though was a full musical performance, and they didn't just use mics for their voices, they needed mics on the floor where they used their feet and clogs and a soundboard to move along and work with the music that they were singing to. Where we've had music in previous years, it's been a really simple setup. This year was much more complicated.
I don't know, I was just really flat this morning, exhausting, and we rocked up. There was loads to do, and tech stuff. We were having problems with the projector, problems with the sound, and everyone was here, but we weren't able to get moving. So yeah, to be honest, I was a bit, had to go and take myself off for a few kind of quiet minutes.
Partway through the morning, I stepped out into the main reception area, and one of the speakers, Rachel, had turned up and was really upset.
Okay, I'm sitting in my car and I'm just about to leave. We've got the rehearsal today. I just wanted to tell you about the morning I've had before I leave. How do kids know you've got something important on? Can they smell it or something? What if they got a radar? Because like 4 this morning, my kids woke me up. Look, why? How do they know? As a full-time single parent, it's not just me that's enabled me to do this TED Talk. It takes a village. They've had to go to my friend at 7 this morning so that she can take them to school. My other amazing friend in Eastbourne, an hour away, is going to drive over and pick them up from school at 3 o'clock and then just look after them for the whole weekend so that I can do my talk and focus.
She'd left her outfit she wanted to wear to give her talk 2.5 hours away in Brighton, hanging on the back of a door.
Okay, so I'm having a bit of a moment. When I left, I was like, I think I've forgotten something, and I even stopped my car and I had a look. I've just driven here and I've been so on it and like thinking I'm gonna ace this, and I was really, really confident. I forgot my outfit. We're gonna go, I don't know what to do.
And then Caroline Strachan, one of my other speakers, came to the rescue. Caroline is one of those people who just sorts problems, a bit like me. I think Caroline's a great name for problem solvers. Caroline, bless her, said, right, we can sort this. I will organise a taxi to bring your outfit. I've just spoken to the taxi driver out there. We've got it all sorted.
It's nothing. In the whole scheme of life, it's nothing. Right? Should we do that? Yeah.
So sometimes it's not me that solves the problem, it'll be other people around me. And in this case, it was with one of the other speakers. But it really sort of brought home to me how very nervous the speakers can be.
It's been an interesting day.
There was a bit that I stumbled over only because I had realised I lucked out a bit.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite anxious about the whole event, but then I think that's okay.
I felt like I had a slightly dodgy lunch today, so hopefully I don't get food poisoning or something. That would be, oh, can you even imagine?
One of the things I was really worried about is that previously I've kind of the adrenaline's got to me and I've ended up being a bit shaky, which isn't a great look when you're trying to be on a TED stage.
A couple of people today, I know Dan has rewritten the entire ending of his talk. Rob, I heard things in the talk today that he hasn't said before.
It was later that in the talk that I realised that I left out the bit earlier, and then that realisation just threw me.
There's something different about standing on that spot and looking out and thinking, oh yeah, you only actually get one go at getting this as you want it.
We've done everything we can. We've taken months and months of planning, and then it's out of our hands. Like, the speakers have to deliver. It comes down to them. When I arrived at the courthouse, there was a mix of a relative amount of calmness, then peaks of panic, back down to being calm again, but an overriding feeling of excitement. Okay, so it's just gone 9:30, which means the doors have now opened. I think it's time for a final high five with the team to get them pumped, because they are now go, go, go. This event is happening. People are starting to come in. We've got like about 5 minutes before we actually kick off the main talks. We get started with this event. There's a big audience so far. It's pretty full. There's loads of excitement and buzz. I'm really nervous. I just need to get started. I really just need to get started now.
The future.
Session one's always the most nerve-wracking, and it was particularly more nerve-wracking because we had a technical changeover with the laptop so that we could play Katerina's presentation, which was slightly different.
I said, oh, welcome Katerina Johnson, everyone's clapping. And I was just about to walk on, I said to the stage guy, can you make sure they've got the first slide up before I go on, because they had to change the computers. And he was like, it's not up, they are clapping, and then they stopped clapping, and there was like really awkward silence. And then Liu was like, okay, I'll go and fill it in. So it was a bit of drama just before, but it was okay.
So that was a bit scary, but it was good. It was really good to get started, and kind of it's like getting that first win under our belt.
You're on such autopilot that you suddenly realise, I have no idea what I've said. So I went back in, I read my talk afterwards to be like, did I actually say all this? And I was like, yep. And I was like, oh, so I guess I did it. So
second session, I think the key bit that sticks in my mind, Dan was struggling to remember like a transition out of one stage and into his conclusion.
The audiences are brilliant, so it's easy to get good reactions off of things, and the bits that you perhaps didn't think were going to be quite as funny turned out to be quite funny.
I was like behind stage, I was, yes, he's got it. It was really great to see Joanna come off and kind of like a weight had been lifted, and you could hear that, oh, yes, that was awesome.
What made this different and why I was more nervous? This is my message. This mattered to me. Is it about getting out of your comfort zone? I don't think it is. I think it's about expanding your comfort zone.
You know, the nature of her talk is that she's an introvert, but she's going out speaking and doing something that is a very extrovert thing. Lunatraktors, I had to fill for quite a while on that one. An interesting start because they had lots of technical stuff to get on, but that was awesome to bring that different sort of energy. People listen and have quite a lot to take in with some quite big ideas presented for some of the speakers. So it's great to have some performances that are going to make people feel a bit different and get their bodies moving and engaging a different part of the brain. Session 3, I think it was quite important that we kind of went back in with quite a lively, energetic one where Rachel was perfect.
I remembered everything. I just kind of hope the message got across. I hope that it landed. I hope people felt something. That's what I really wanted.
Then when Caroline came on, like she'd been absolutely nailing her talk all the way through. So to be honest, like I was so confident and comfortable with Caroline.
Today's been brilliant. I've loved being part of the whole thing. I'll admit I missed a couple of lines in my talk, so I'm not massively happy about that. But apparently it didn't show, and I've had some really great feedback. So overall, I'm really happy.
And then Julia's was an awesome one to finish with, and we always put like the talk at the end is always quite an important one because it's what people leave thinking and feeling.
Awesome! I kind of want to do a little dance. All those weeks and months of learning and listening and annoying everybody around me paid off.
And then we finished on a real like local high, if I could use such terms, because we got Shane Record, and he was a last minute addition. His work's about Folkestone. People know him and love him, so it was great to be able to offer him that opportunity, but also for him to be able to share his work with Folkestone.
Loved it. I just loved it. I mean, the when you go out there, all that you care about is getting the paint on the thing and talking. And you're trying to do so many things at the same time. I didn't realise I was a comedian, but that everyone was laughing. Well, TEDx is a highly respected platform, and it just is another dot in the big picture of the town, of which all these dots are now joining. And it's really, really great that we have something like a TEDx event in Folkestone. And I was amazed that I was asked to be part of it.
We all do it because we love being a part of something bigger than ourselves and working alongside people who are equally as passionate, committed, dedicated, and ultimately just want to bring amazing ideas to life.
It's absolutely brilliant for the town. It's so different and something that's kind of happened since the creative quarter's been established and expanded. It's certainly not something I ever imagined coming here, you know, when I was growing up as a teen. It's brilliant.
Just looking forward to having my mind open today and to see what speeches are going on and what interesting things people come to talk about.
Yeah, it's my first TEDx talk, so yeah, it's been a real experience, especially with the performances as well as the talks. They've been really, really impressive.
One of our dancers I can quote said, "That's the best thing I've done in my life."
I think it's a unique experience, and at least once in your life you have to attend to one TED Talk.
A year's worth of work, and I think definitely TEDx Folkestone 2019 has got to be our best yet. Some of the comments and the feedback about the speakers in particular that just made us go, yes, we're doing something right, and we're really proud of what we're doing. So all that hard work absolutely paid off. An amazing event.
Problems will always be solved, and that TEDxFolkestone becomes a family that look after each other. Whether or not it's backstage, front stage, between the speakers, between the video crew, we all act as a family that look out for each other.